How about this January event, man? This shit looking like it's gonna be a banger.
Man, stacked,
I was
stacked.
just check. I was just checking the page today. It looked like as of this afternoon, there's like 26 people already signed up. So
Yeah.
So we're Street Beefs West Coast. We're not Scrapyard.
oh, gotcha. Okay.
Oh, we're live too. All right, gentlemen. We got live. I thought we'll see. The intro might come a little late, but you know, this is MMA Underground, your favorite part of Tuesday. I want to have the dynamic duo known as Buddy V, killing it with the one and only.
Sam K. And shit, man, we got two phenomenal guests in the building as always. You see him, you know him, one of the rising stars, one of the young hitters in Street Beefs West Coast. We got Island Strong in the building.
What's going on? Appreciate y'all for having me.
And all the way from Street Beef Scrapyard, we have a new young gun in the building. You see the stash? Don't get slammed by this, man. We have the Horn in the building.
Hey guys, thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Heck yeah, that's gonna be a fun show. Two great fighters too, yeah. And yeah, two killer mustaches. I'm like, dang. Now, I gotta ask first, how long have you had the mustache? Like, cause that thing's iconic. It's like a Tom Selleck, like.
So I've had the mustache on and off for several years. The current stash that I have, I've grown for about a little over 4 months. I kind of trim it, every couple of days as needed, but it's about 4 months worth of growth currently. So I'll keep it up for a bit more for sure.
And man, it seemed like it kind of segued into the perfect like fight intro for you. You want to talk about that real quick?
Yeah. So I'll be honest. I followed Street Beefs for a long time. And I never really knew how it worked because I was just somebody who watched the videos. So when I signed up and showed up, I didn't even have a name prepared. I didn't know we had to say something before. And it was like we did the fighters brief and they're like, oh, hey, you'll have the camera and you got to say your piece. And I'm like, wait, what am I supposed to say? And, shout out to my corner man who is Lou, who's one of the guys from the gym that's been helping me out. And he was like, man, you gotta lean into something, like be funny, like come up with an idea. And I'm like, man, I always like to crack jokes and everyone always jokes about my mustache. And I'm like, I got to come up with something. And then we were there and he's like, lean into it. And as soon as that camera went, it just came off. This just felt right,
Natural.
It was dope, bro. And to see Fire Chicken edit your quote later into the fight, I mean, that was perfect, bro.
Yeah, everyone who watched it, when I sent the video to them, I'm like, hey, make sure you have your volume on. And they're like, what? And then they listen to it like, oh, now I know why. So.
Hey, and so I was gonna say you had a killer MMA fight. Before I talk a little more about that, I was gonna ask Island Strong. I love rewatching the fights when we have guests that get to go back and rewatch them 2, 3, 4 times. And your fight with X, you really came out and you got that first round dub. You really proved a point. I don't know why I was spacing. Did you have an MMA fight before him?
You mean that day?
No, just before in general.
Yeah, I've had a few. That was like my fourth MMA fight, but that was like my third Street Beefs MMA fight, but my fourth in total. So I'm not too like friendly with MMA. I don't even roll jiu-jitsu or anything. I just kind of is getting there trying to test where I'm at currently.
No, and I can tell that you got the head movement because when you were fighting the gentleman, oh man, where was it? 505 Conqueror. I saw when you dropped your hand, you were doing some head movement, doing a couple things, and you were taking a couple too. And I was like, all right, see you.
Yeah, I wanted to show off a little bit. I wanted to put on a kind of a show. After the more I watched that back, I kind of feel bad. Like, yeah, maybe I went a little too overboard with it. I kind of whatever. It was cool.
And speaking of MMA, your last bout was with a MMA champion from the OGR, correct?
Yeah, Mike, yeah.
Let's talk about that fight for a little bit.
Shit, man. I gotta say, man, I don't know how I got that fight. I mean, I was 0-2 before, 0-2 before I fought X. Then I got my first W, and then I'm fighting the OGR champion in kickboxing and MMA. I thought that was crazy, but I thought I kind of wanted to just take it as an opportunity, try to open the door for myself. You know what I mean? But I mean, I probably should have trained more wrestling. I think going into the fight, he knew damn well that I couldn't wrestle, and he wanted to kind of expose that. But yeah.
Yeah, I think we just had limited fighters for the weight classes that came out.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I mean? That's what I saw.
In MMA, we're kind of shallow at, especially at this weight division. We only have it's mostly boxers in Street Beefs West Coast.
Yeah, yeah. Ooh. But shit, man, you went out there and you did what you could, man. And you get credit for that as well. And even before that fight, I mean, you've been on a roll. You've been showcasing your boxing skills that I've noticed really getting sharper over the course of your career here.
Thank you for noticing. Yeah, so I'm trying to take more. I'm trying to get back more into boxing. Gonna take a break from MMA because I literally only train boxing, even when I go into MMA fights. So yeah, I'm trying to get back into my world of boxing, see if I can get further there. Stick with my stuff.
Oh heck yeah, that'll be fun to watch. And like I'm excited because we have we had you on like almost a year ago, like 10, 11 months now. I'm strong, so I love to see the fights, the level of growth. And one thing I'm excited for is the Horn. We're having you on after you had your first fight, and you said you were gonna come back. I want to talk about your fight. You had such a nice throw. I mean, that's like just lean back. You turn your hips and pivot and just wham. I mean, what kind of experience are we talking going into that fight? Or I mean, did you just wrestle, jiu-jitsu? I mean,
Yeah, so that's interesting because I've been training jujitsu now for about 4 months. I'm relatively new at it. I certainly wouldn't say I'm good at it by any means. I don't have any wrestling experience. I mean, really, where that throw came from, honestly, it just kind of felt natural. I've never done a suplex in my life. It was just like I had the back, I saw it, and I'm like, okay, I'm a pretty strong dude. I'm like, I'm gonna just try this, and it just felt instinctive, to be honest. And then afterwards, I was like, oh shit, did I just do that? So I ain't trying to lie. I was not prepared for that.
Well, what is what was the fight quote what is your phrase that you've coined?
The mustache ride.
The mustache ride.
And I'm gonna say that next time too. I'm gonna come up with some little different variation to say, but I'm gonna lean hard into it, man.
Hey, it was perfect, bro. And honestly, after seeing you do that, like you said, you did it naturally. It looks like you look like you've been doing this for a while. To be honest, I wouldn't have guessed 4 months.
Well, hey, I really appreciate that because yeah, I've been training at Logic Jiu Jitsu over in Spanaway, Washington, about mid-ish August. And I train 5 days a week there. We got a great crew in the morning. I'm part of the 6 a.m. crew. But yeah, I pretty much just get beat up on a daily basis. So that's how I learned.
oh yeah. I like it. I mean, some of the muscles and everything else. I was looking on your Instagram page once or twice. Do you do competitive lifting or?
So I used to. So the joke I always say is in a past life. So I previously competed in powerlifting and strongman. I won nationals, North Americans, and world championships back in 2021. And then pretty much as early 2022, my second kid was born, and I kind of stepped away for a bit. And I did some powerlifting and strongman comps kind of here and there, but I kind of just fell off with it, which honestly was really just me kind of being lazy. But I was also trying to spend as much time with my kids and my family as possible. So I just kind of transitioned away. And those clips you see though on my Instagram are older. They're 2, 3, even some of them are like 4 years old. So
You got it done. Heck yeah, it's there. That's why we had our fights, we got our competitions, we talk our shit.
Straight up. Now, Island Strong. Oh, go ahead, buddy.
No, you can go. It's all good.
Island Strong, you have a different type of match coming up here in January. Can you tell the people what's going on for those who don't know?
So we got a MMA glove boxing match. So we're gonna do the 7-ounce glove, the puffy, the kind of like turtleback round gloves. We're gonna be boxing with those on. And they more than asked the free smoke because he's the one kind of like the messenger, the matchmaker. He asked if we could do boxing but with elbows, and that's where I drew the line. I was like, nah, man, I mean, Morgan's already a tough motherfucker, man. But that's basically upper body Muay Thai, and like I'm not ready for that yet.
Yeah.
I know my limits. I'm not. He's gonna be trying to elbowing me. Like he's gonna be trying to work in them elbows. I don't even spar Muay Thai, and I'm like, nah, we can stick with boxing. But it's gonna be a banger for sure. That man's a showman. I like to think of myself as a showman too. I've been sharpening my skills. I know he hasn't had to show his boxing skills a lot because he's a Muay Thai fighter and he does Muay Thai and MMA fights, and he's more kick based. But he got some damn good boxing. He's got some damn good hands. He's a good boxer. So it's gonna be a banger. He's a hard ass hitter too. He hits hard as shit.
Facts.
He looks
Facts.
like, I heard a couple lumps through the videos. I'm like, damn, okay.
Yeah, he's like 5'2". He's like a featherweight. He punches like a middleweight for real.
Yeah. I sparred him once or twice, and for sure it was just boxing, and he showcased his skills. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be a good fight, man, because you got skills as well, bro. You got skill. Oh, we got him in the chat right there. What up, Mortem? You got skills as well, and I wanted to find out, like, what are we doing in this training camp that's different compared to other training camps?
Not much different. I mean, I'm always trying to work in more cardio, trying to get my gas tank bigger. I'm always working on new combos. So it's not really much different. Right now I'm training right now in my garage, because I'm broke and busy during the holidays this month. So January starts, I'm gonna get back in the gym with punches. Rhino gets works in there and some other dudes. I'm gonna be sparring constantly. I'm gonna do way more sparring than I've ever done, because I'm kind of known for I'm not really the biggest fan of sparring. So, but this one I'm definitely gonna need it more than any boxing match I've ever done.
Yeah,
he's a dangerous boy. That man's dangerous.
Yeah, I agree, bro. Just make sure that you reserve time for recovery before the fight.
For sure.
Yeah.
Those ice baths, oh man, heck yeah. Ooh, I bet you no one's around when I jump in them too. I'm like, no one's looking, okay. I'm making all sorts of weird faces. I can't move. I was curious because I wanted to ask the Horn too. When before your fight, I was gonna ask how you prepare too, because having a background in lifting, I was gonna see if you did a little bit. If you had to try to do cardio to kind of bring it up there, because I know sometimes when people come up with more muscle, we'll see them get winded. But you looked pretty. You didn't even look winded at the end of your fight. So I'm curious, how did you prepare?
Yeah, so I actually didn't go with like a cardio based focus, which I know is textbook wrong, really. But I've been training off and on with my father for a bit, going over kind of like boxing fundamentals and whatnot. Because he had shown me basically some things back when I was young, where I was around like 12, 13. We kind of went on some fundamentals, and kind of on and off through the years. I've always asked questions of like, what are things I can do to work on this? And once I pretty much made the decision that I was going to fight, I got a bit more serious about training my striking, because to be honest, I don't have a ton of striking experience. I've sparred on and off. I've done some heavy sparring sessions, but I've never really done any sort of bout or anything before like that. So what my training looked like is leading up, I still did my jiu-jitsu 5 days a week, and I had some form of bag work also 5 days a week. And I usually try to give myself at least one full, like it was usually a Sunday where I would do absolutely no, workouts at all. And I do really harp on the recovery just to make sure I felt good. Because even though I'm not old, I'm 32, but I feel, everything hurts a lot more at 32 than they do at 22. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Me and Buddy in the 30 gang. We know recovery takes a little longer. Yeah.
And speaking of recovery, not just with your training, but then also how you're going to be revving up for this big old fight you got in January. What would be a good recovery meal that, if you could have to choose, to not just cover vitamins and nutrients, but every taste palette that you want? What's something, if you could have, what would it be? The perfect recovery meal.
Honestly, it's got to be super heavy in carbs. It's got to taste good. And for me, that's anything Italian food. My grandmother was like straight off the boat from Italy, and she has an amazing lasagna recipe that's prepared in 15-pound batches. That's like the smallest you can make. So my father has perfected it. So for like Thanksgiving and Christmas, like he's making it for Christmas this year. I'll have leftovers for a while, and I would chow down on that, and I do a nice like 30-minute recovery in my hot tub. It's like the perfect recovery session. I just sleep like a baby after that.
Hell yeah! I'm getting hungry just hearing that. Damn.
Hey, make sure to post the pictures, bro.
Will do.
I'm the fattest person in StreetBeefs, so I need to see this.
Bro, I need to see that lasagna.
You know what I'm saying? 15 pounds?
Yeah.
That's a newborn baby lasagna.
That's a big ass baby, bro.
How about you, Island Strong?
Well, my recovery meal.
Yeah, best
I was
one.
thinking about that when he was like, I'm probably leaning for recovery leading up to the fight, and make sure it's like nothing like greasier. Probably like a good steak and mashed potatoes. Again, that's probably the best meal. or steak and chicken with side mashed potatoes and steamed broccoli with salt and butter. Can't go wrong with that. Medium well steak, Diet Coke. That's it.
I like it. I like it.
Man, my only problem with that is medium well. Come on, man.
Yeah, I don't like it. Well, you're a rare guy. You like a rare?
I'm a rare guy for sure.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm not hating. I'm not hating. I want to be clear.
You're good. You're good. This is not for me. I don't know. I like it cooked. I don't know.
That's fair. That's fair.
Hey, I got twin uncles, right? My uncle JJ's in the chat. What up, Uncle JJ? They are twin. They're both chefs, right? My tata is from Texas. He eats all his steak well done, and he'd go to old restaurants and he'd order like a real nice steak, well and cooked. Who the fuck? And they're like, that's my dad. And they're like, oh well. Wait, what? Why is he ordering a steak like that? I'm like, oh, it was the funniest shit.
It's too much of a fight, bro. That's a fight right there. See me, like I can do medium to rare if I cook it. I won't do it if someone else is making it. If someone else is making it, I'm medium well, like Island Strong. But if I'm doing it, yeah, I'll do it medium. For a fight, I'll go rare. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I prefer to cook my own steaks too. Whenever I go out to eat a steak, I always just like I could have made a better steak than this. Like I went to BJ's restaurant and I paid like I think like fucking like $60 for a plate. I did order a couple of beers too, but it was just the driest fucking like under seasoned. It looked like they just seasoned it with like a couple of salt and like that's good, and then just put it on my fucking plate. It was terrible. It was horrible. I was so mad I paid for that.
Shameful.
Man.
Shit, man. All this talk about food, it kind of leads to a good question for both of you. If you guys could pick any company that could sponsor you, who would you pick?
So caveat on that, does it have to be food related? Just because?
No, any.
Okay. I don't know. Island Strong, you want to go first, man?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I'm trying to think of like the benefits, like I want to say like a sports company like Adidas or Nike or something, so I always have a good like the top of the line equipment all the time, and have a sports deal because that's always cool. Yeah, I gotta say Nike. Nike's always been my favorite brand.
Okay.
Either Nike or any boxing brand like a Title Boxing or a Reyes. Yeah, any sports brand.
Yeah.
Ooh. So I guess for me, man, that's hard. And I was trying to think about it while you were talking too, but I was still trying to listen. I'd have to take a similar approach, and I'd probably go with Venom. I'm a huge fan of Venom's gear. I like the aesthetics of the way everything looks. And I just think if I had to pick like one gear company that's like, hey, I'm only gonna rock this one company, I would pick Venom. That's just me.
Yeah, Venom has some nice stuff and good quality stuff too.
Yeah.
That's why I like get what you pay for.
Yeah.
I got a lot. All three of my gloves right here are all sandable. I like sandable because it's a great quality. It feels super comfortable. I put my hand in it, and it's like $30 a pair. Can't beat it.
I would say I usually have my gloves on display, but I think I took them out to the garage. I was teaching the kids some stuff earlier. I was like, yeah, I might get a little boxing thing going with some of the kids after school. Oh snap! What?
Yeah, those are clean.
Like I
was gonna ask with bring up the kids and stuff. I know both of you were fathers. Do you feel that kind of gives you an extra push, an extra drive? Not just having a fight, but also in training in general, because that these are skills that you can use in the outside world. Should some tweaker, some fool just try to mess with you and your family?
Oh yeah, always. Yeah, definitely. That part right there, you pretty much just covered it. In case because I live in fucking Manteca, Stockton, where it's fucking. Sometimes I live in Manteca, and the joke around here is we call it Mantweeka because it's like half our population is on fucking crack, and you can't go outside without seeing a couple of them. So that's always a possibility that could possibly happen whenever I'm going out with my family. So yeah, that definitely helps.
Yeah, I have to completely agree. I mean, I live in the Pacific Northwest, about an hour south of Seattle, but routinely, encounter some, questionable groups of individuals you see out and about. And I'm always kind of on edge as is anyway. But yeah, absolutely. Just at least having some knowledge of like, okay, if shit did hit the fan, at least you kind of have somewhat of an idea what to do. And you just hope that they're untrained, because then if they're untrained, for sure you're going to beat that ass. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I love it when they get loud too. It's like, oh yeah, let's go outside. Like, okay, they're like, watch this, and they cock all the way back. You're like, bink, and like, hey, what? Hey, hold on a minute.
It's always the loudest in the room too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Once he hit him with the jab and they realize like they just got hit with a boxing jab, then their whole like something washes over their face. It's like, oh fuck.
Yeah. You see the question mark,
smoke, bro.
You see the question mark right on their face. I was gonna say, man, I wanted to ask Horn, were you growing up, did you get into any street fights or altercations like that? Because we know Island Strong, which we'll get to you in a second. But yeah, what's your fight background like?
So, no, absolutely not. I never really had any issues. I think, honestly, growing up, the only thing that ever really I encountered was, I like to get in mosh pits because I always used to listen to metal music. So, growing up, I was always at metal concerts and I was always getting elbowed and whacked in the face in the pit. But that was really about it. It wasn't really until I joined the Army that I really started actually fighting. Because, I was an infantryman for 6 years. And, when you're a single infantry dude living in the barracks, and this was during, OEF time frame, what else do you do on the weekends besides just get drunk and just beat the shit out of each other? You know what I mean? So that's kind of how it started for me.
Gotcha. And Island Strong, when's the last time you had a street fight?
Honestly, it's been a while. I've been a good boy recently.
Okay.
He's been keeping my head on straight. Yeah, it's been a while. I haven't even seen a street fight recently either. It's just crazy. I don't know what's going on. People are calmed down, I guess.
You're staying in the right. You're in the right places. If you're not seeing or getting into street fights, you're now in the right places.
I guess so. I guess the last one that comes to mind a couple years ago, like 2 New Years ago, when I was like, I think I killed like a whole 18-pack of beer, and I was like, yeah, I was pretty fucked up that night, and I was making like loud noises in my sister's girlfriend's, my girlfriend's sister's boyfriend's house. And we were being loud that night, and he kept telling us to shut up, but we wouldn't shut up. And then he came outside and wanted to fight me, and so we went outside and we fought in the dark. And he took me down, and I put him in a fucking leg triangle. And that's how it ended.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was
talking about
driving home the whole way, like just talking shit, like I'm a fucking boxer, and I put him in a fucking leg triangle.
That's
see
funny.
what happens?
Well, on a positive note, my bad, buddy. What you gonna say?
I was just gonna go back to a different question for Island Strong, but I'll catch it in a minute.
Okay. No, I was just gonna say that's a perfect segue to, for a more positive note, we've seen you fight in other organizations outside of Street Beefs. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I'm fighting with this dude named Anthony Medina in San Jose, California. He runs this thing called Battle of the Bay, and I was supposed to have a boxing or MMA match with this one dude, and he pulled out because for whatever reason he just didn't like the venue or the cage or whatever. And then when he had a fight the next week, and I watched it, and I was like, oh, I would have kicked his ass. And then after that, so that basically made me want to know. And then after that, he had another event, and he wanted to give me a title shot for that in MMA. But then I think that was during October. I was working a lot, and I hadn't been training, so I had to pull out of that fight. And then I'm gonna get back into that in like May or so. So that's I'm kind of like bouncing between that and Street Beefs right now.
Yeah, I've seen you do a boxing match at another spot. I don't know if it was the same organization or not.
No, that's just that's kind of like little underground little hood thing that this dude he puts on for like $5 a ticket, and people just come and just fight.
Yeah.
Like weed tables, people selling weed, selling mushrooms and beer and shit. It's pretty
a real smoker event.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, if I wanted to see that Battle of the Bay fight, is that online too, or?
I believe he live streams it, but he does upload it to YouTube. And Little King, my boy Little King, that Samke, you refed his match. He fights up over there too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
we're talking about all these different styles of fighting and everything else. And Horn, I'm curious because you're gonna come back to the Scrapyard for some more fights, and we have seen that there have been multiple people from different branches who've gone on to other organizations. And one of the ones that's primary is BKFC. Always comes up. I've tried out. A few other people have gone to the tryouts. They've gotten a few other people in there. If you were magically offered something or the opportunity came around, would you ever consider that, or no gloves is a deal breaker?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I think for me, like, call me a bitch, but I think no gloves is a deal breaker for me, man. If I was a little younger and maybe I wasn't married and didn't have kids, I would maybe more consider that. But at least like as of now, like I would. I'm one of those people like I would still consider I'm for sure a hobbyist, right? Like I enjoy this. Am I being honest with myself and saying like, oh hey, I'm gonna go accomplish these great things? I mean, who knows? I'm here to have fun. That's my main goal, right? But yeah, the whole bear. I have hats off to anybody that does that, man. That's some next level shit in my book.
Crazy. They're like, the guys like, hey, I just won. I'm like, are you sure? They're like, half their face is swollen, the other half is tore up. You're like,
Real, you should see the other guy moment.
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah,
Man,
I
so I
really
was
do
actually gonna curious. I was gonna ask you guys because the other day at work, someone had brought up because they know I fight and I haven't seen him in a while. The Tyson and Jay qualify, but then they asked me, they're like, "Do you genuinely feel there's an age when people should stop training, or if they should take it lighter, or they should just try to stop fighting in general?" And like you said, as we get older, we heal a little slower. I was curious on both of your opinions. Do you feel like there's like an age limit on fighting in general, even though it's like professional level, or if you just need to kind of like wind down, or
on fighting and on competing, yeah, there's definitely an age limit where there's an age like where you're getting hit in the head. You're not. You should. When you get old, you shouldn't be getting hit in the head. I mean, if you ask any doctor, getting hit in the head is bad for you. But you should never stop training. You don't. There's a quote from the Uncle Drew movie that it's like you don't get old because you stop balling. You can stop balling because you get old or something like that. I probably fucked it up, but you get it right. Once you stop training, then then you kind of. I feel like that's you kind of I don't know, giving up. I don't know. You always stay fit. Stay training, stay dangerous.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you, man. I mean, I agree. I think definitely the golden thing is to just not stop training. I think if anything, as you get older, you just adapt your training to whatever physical ailments or limitations you have. From the competing part, I also agree, and I think it depends just on what specific sport we're talking about, right? Like if at least from like a jujitsu standpoint, right? Like we have masters classes, and we have that for a reason, right? So like I'm a masters one athlete. I'm over 30. But like, in the gym in the morning, sometimes you roll with somebody who's 18 years old, and you think even at 32, like that's not that big of a difference. But like, mate, I don't have that smoke like they do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like there's so much more energy. They recover faster too, right? And I think that's the big thing is I think as you get older, the more thing you need to consider is the recovery bit. Where at least before 18 or 19, I could go out, really bust it real hard, maybe get hurt a little bit, but I can, I can walk it off. And in a few days, I'll feel fine. Well, now a few days, that turns into a few weeks until I start feeling fine again. You know what I mean? So.
yeah, we're that same boat. That's like, oh, that's like it's still hurting. It's been 3 weeks. That's not fair. Damn.
Yeah, man, that recovery rate changes, man. It changes.
Fuck,
And
I'm not quite there yet.
well, you still in your prime, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you keep living, you'll see what it is. The idea is to take the least amount of damage.
Facts.
No matter your age. Because the damage is, in my opinion, the damage is what accelerates the age. The age isn't really real. If you've never taken damage, it's not really about your age. You know what I mean? But the damage, it accumulates, and yeah.
And to follow on that kind of from like a personal level, like for me, like that's the one thing I'm concerned a bit with is like I have a TBI from my time in the army, and like I have a history of head trauma. So it's the idea of like, oh man, if I just keep getting whapped in the head, it's like how many more headshots do I have before I'm start not able to remember things and whatnot. I'd like to not be a vegetable when I'm older. That's kind of the goal.
Yeah.
Right. It's that hard transition where it's like I still want to be competitive, but I want to be able to wipe my own ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
And speaking
That's a
of putting
fight in
time
itself.
in, yeah, I was actually gonna say Island Strong. You've been with the West Coast for like 3 years now. It was 3 years ago you made your debut, pal.
I was 18 when I had my first fight. I'm 22 now, so that's what
4 years. All right.
I'm still here. Shit. There are people who are fighting amateur. Some people are pro now.
Hey, but we got families, we got all that sort of stuff, and life happens. That's
Yeah. How many fights you got right now?
Say again. You said what?
How many fights do you have?
I'm 6-5, so I have 11 fights right now. This will be my
So
12th.
you should be getting a jacket then. You should be, or whatever the next thing is. You're a Hall of Famer at this point.
For sure, soon. Yeah, soon. Is that
And
or not? Probably not, huh? Now Daniel's not going to be at this event, so I don't think so.
say it again.
I said, are we going to do this event or not? And I was like, nah, Daniel's not going to be at this one, so probably not.
I haven't heard no talks of it, but for sure it's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of everyone getting together and organizing it. But you passed the test. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely getting something, bro.
Hell yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah.
It's crazy because I was gonna bring up one of your fights earlier with Apex Underdog. So I know that we were talking about like head movement, not trying to take too much damage, and I felt like there was a couple times when he was hitting hard, but he would wind up a little bit. And I was gonna ask, were you trying to stay focused on head movement and some defense, trying not to get hit because he was like putting that on it, or?
Honestly, I'm not. I think I was just trying to like. I think I was trying to like rock him, but that because that motherfucker's got a tough ass chin. I don't know, but his chin needs to be studied. I was hard like with my left hooks and uppercuts, and he was just unfazed. It was crazy. Never seen nothing like it.
Yeah, there was like one or two he caught back and you hit him like bam, and he was just like click and looks at him. Oh, okay, all right, he's going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's got a fight in January as well. I don't remember who it's with, but
He's going against Marauder.
that's right. That's right. They're both they got the same record. So yeah. That'll be interesting.
What style?
Boxing.
Boxing, yeah. He don't do Muay Thai.
Yeah.
To my knowledge, to our knowledge.
That's gonna be
now. That's pretty killer. And I was gonna say, with your 3 years too, I was gonna say, do you have a favorite yard in the West Coast?
I gotta say, I really like the Smoke Ranch, but what's the other one called? The Hot Box. I really like that one. It was cool too because I think it was just because more people. I feel like it was smaller, so like it felt like more people were there. But I felt like it was a bigger crowd, and we had like just more energy. And I remember my first event, there was a taco truck or a taco stand there. People were they were making.
Yeah.
Haven't had that since.
It's a good food. It's like at all the Street Beefs events, there's always some sort of food. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, pretty much. We ordered like 20 pizzas sometimes from Domino's, our Champ X Meals actually caters that.
Yeah.
I bet they probably see that ticket like, damn, this is a joke. Okay, like what?
We got to bring the food back.
So, no, I don't have a favorite. I've only been to the two, but they're both pretty cool. The Scrapyard is on my bucket list. So I really, really want to go fight out there.
Who would be somebody that you would have your eyes on out there?
Honestly, I have no idea. I don't really know. I heard I've asked that question, and they said someone the name of Turtle that would be a good matchup for me.
Boxing, yeah, but he's kind of
a little heavier,
inactive.
He's a little heavier.
And I would.
You're 135.
I'm 135, 140. Yeah, I've also fought at 145. Most of that.
And you want boxing, right?
Yeah, boxing.
Yeah, they got a couple good boxers. I don't know why I'm spacing on a couple names right now.
I would say
Crazy Legs, but I think he's like 155. I think he's a little heavier.
Yeah, he's heavier. I would say if you can deal with the cardio, because he's got cardio. If you could deal with the cardio, you and Lights Out would be a good fight.
Okay, yeah, I know him. Yeah.
You and Lights Out would be a good fight, I think.
I'd definitely be banger.
Mm-hmm.
And I was gonna say that's perfect because Horn, there's a couple people in your weight class that are MMA as well. I mean, is there anybody that you maybe saw that would possibly you'd want to fight in the future that you think you might cross paths with?
Yeah, I thought about that, and honestly, I'm just kind of open to whoever. It doesn't really. There's not anyone particular, to be honest. I mean, there's plenty of people I'd be like, oh, that would be cool to go fight with, right? Like, my favorite fighter at Scrapyard is Solo, right? I mean, we're far apart in weight classes, though, right? But like, that would just be sick to just get in the ring. I mean, and Solo's gonna laugh at me every time I hit him because I can't do anything to him.
He's gonna roar.
Solo's the only guy I know who can block a head kick with his head. I'm like, wait, what? He's like, bam! Like, wait.
It's incredible. He needs to be studied.
Bro, I literally seen him like go into the kick. Like Yeah, like all right.
He literally blocked it with his head.
In my opinion, he's one of the most entertaining guys in the scrapyard. Like I
And
love his videos, and it's just the manner of like so many times you see him eats a punch, and this guy's putting all of his weight behind it, and he just eats it, and then he just screams at him, and I'm like, how demoralizing would that be? If I hit somebody as hard as I can, and they just stand there, take it, and scream at me, like holy shit, man. You
I was
know?
like, what else could I do? Like, what more could I do? That was all
Yeah.
I did.
Straight up.
So you're like, oh
Yeah,
shit. You're
Solo's
like,
dope,
damn.
man.
He's like, how much left of the round do I got?
He came and hyped me up for my fight when I came to the scrapyard. He came and hyped me up, and bro, he wasn't even really hype. He was actually like low Solo, and even low, bro, it was intense. He was like, "Okay, brother, you're gonna go out there and you're gonna kill him. You're gonna get his fucking ass, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I am." Shout out Solo.
And it's curious. We're talking about different opponents, different stuff, and Alan Strong said he wants to come up to the scrap yard. But the Horn, have you seen some of the other yards? Whether it's a Smoke Ranch or how
OGR, West Coast, Dirty
Yeah.
South.
I have, yeah. And so I'm not super familiar with the names and which one is where. Kind of how I discovered Street Beefs in the first place was just kind of just some like viral reels that I've seen online, and then I watched. I believe there's like a 30-minute video. I think it's from Vice about like the OG yard, and I remember being like, wow, like holy crap, like learning just about the organization as a whole, and then just seeing all the fights from all over, and it's like, oh man, like this is some sweet stuff going on all over the place.
You should check out the documentary that Tommy G did in the Street Beefs West Coast in the Arizona yard. That shit was pretty lit.
Fire.
Yeah, I watched that like 4 times.
Yeah, I didn't know who that guy was, bro. Me and him were talking the whole time, and real cool, chill dude, man. I thought he was gonna hop in and fight. He's like, "Oh no, man, I'm just here, documenting."
Yeah, he has a history in MMA and jiu-jitsu. Do you know that?
Really? I didn't know.
Yeah, you go if you like. I think it should be on YouTube. But he was talking about it in a video in one of his like when he goes like to the hood documentaries and the cut like did a little cutaway. Yeah, he looked like he was pretty decent.
Yeah. You never know. Like who's that one dude that plays like Al Bundy and like Married with Children or whatever? How he's like apparently super good at jujitsu and like rolls and taps people out and stuff all the time.
Yeah, Al Bundy. I think he's like a purple belt now, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's dope, man. Good old Al.
Oh yeah. And it's it's cool because you never know who fights, but what even more so, you never know who inspires. And while we watch these fights and we see different professionals, I was gonna ask you guys a little bit of if you have any favorite professionals you watch or some professionals you kind of study a little bit right now. Because I know the game, both MMA and boxing, are just hot.
Well, I got my favorites. The Diaz brothers always. I'm from around here, so they're always going to be loyal to the soil. But I'm always watching the newer guys because athletes are always getting better, progressing, and always getting better throughout the years, like the decades. Athletes are always getting better, so I'm always just trying to pick up on new skills that are going around, like Peyton Talbot. I'm really interested in him right now. He's phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I like some of the earlier 2000s guys. Chuck Liddell was always one of my favorites. Like, man, you talk about a dude who can eat a punch. Rampage, and then some of even more of like the more modern quote unquote. I'm a big McGregor fan. Diaz brothers, but I mean in particular, I'm a big Nate Diaz fan. Like, dude's just a G. Like, you talk about entertaining fights. It's just like that. That's what I want to see when I go in there. Just dudes brawling it out. I mean, Nate's just bleeding from every part of his face, and he's just still standing strong. So
shit.
He's like, oh, that's it. And it's like, oh shit. I mean, I wish I had that energy all the time.
and he's just talking shit the entire time too. It's like, damn, man.
Those are the fighters I particularly love to watch. Like what's his name, Kevin Holland, the one big mouth they call him. Anyone that just talks shit, I just puts on the show. That's what I love to watch. Nick Diaz versus Robert Lawler, favorite fight of all time.
I was just saying, I think there was one BKFC fight I really liked with Kai Stewart and Brian Durant. And I remember the biggest thing was when the guy's like, if I lose, I'm going to find you after the show and I'm going to shoot you because that's what I'm really about in these streets. And after that, I tuned into every single live, every single pre-fight event. I was like, what's going to happen? Oh, shit, they're doing something else live right now. And then after he did lose and he was like, okay, I'm not really going to do that. I'm humble. I take my L. But yeah, that was
Trying to sell the fight or what?
Yeah. Kai Stewart whooped that ass. I think he's like a 4-time belt defending championship now. And funny enough, is we've had him on this show multiple times do the journey of when he very first started, and he was the youngest person to do BKFC fresh in college as a wrestler through the state and championship as well. And then to now where he's a name world title holder and he's getting deals left and right, and it's insane. And I would have never pinged him to do the things that he's done. They even purposely try to pit him against certain people that I get you have to earn your stripes, but there was some leaps where they gave him this opponent where it was like, oh, okay, all right. And he came out, showed up and showed out. And even people like when the odds were completely stacked against, man, he came through every time. So he's a fun fighter to watch.
Nice.
Oh, what's up, everybody?
Can we put up Ryan's comment or question real quick? I wasn't able to.
That's a funny question.
Yeah, he comes with the funnies. I'm not asking you to give names, but is there a Street Beefs fighter that you cheer against whenever they get in the cage? Ryan, you come up with the craziest.
You mean it? He's not asking you to give names, but who do you cheer against? Don't say his name, who is it?
That's funny as fuck.
I mean, Free Smoke. No, I'm playing.
No.
No, I mean, I have love for everybody. I mean, it'd be kind of wrong to cheer for someone to get beat up. I mean, I'm cheering for a fun fight. That's really what I'm cheering for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm supporting whoever I'm cornering.
Right.
I would have to completely agree with that. Like, there's definitely not anybody I've seen who I'm like, oh yeah, like, screw this guy, right? But I mean, honestly, I'm just happy to see people out there getting it. Like, if that's what you want to do, because you know what I mean. So many people just talk about doing things, right? And then they sit around and they spend so much time just talking about what ifs. But like, very few people ever just get up and do it. So I'm just happy to see people out there getting it. I mean, even though sometimes you watch some of those earlier fights, not earlier fights, but some fights where it's like both opponents clearly like, okay, I don't think either of you has ever, struck a bag in your life. Like, but hey, you're still out there getting it. So like, I'm happy with that, and it's entertaining. All the fights I find are entertaining. So I'm just happy people getting it.
Facts.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say, I think there's 1 or 2 beef fights I saw where the guy, like, after I heard why they were about to fight, I was like, man, I hope that guy gets his ass kicked. And then he lost, got his ass kicked, and as soon as he did, he's like, I'm sorry, I was in the wrong. And I'm like, well, damn, you took the fun out of it. Now oh man, all right, you learned your lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I was actually gonna.
Damn right. That's what this was about. It was about Ryan cheering against Pappas.
Do they I want to know. Y'all are from the Scrapyard. Do they purposely not pair Pappas up with someone dangerous because they don't want because he does bring a lot of views? Do they not want him to get knocked out? Are they trying to protect Pappas?
I don't think so. I mean, he's got in there and fight, and I know some people that have sparred with him. They say he definitely spars heavy-handed.
Okay.
And I was gonna bring up, did you watch his fight from the December event that's on like the members only section? Because like that was a real fight. And I mean, man, hats off to him, man. I mean, he fought as best he could, but I mean, he got hit pretty good.
I didn't see it, but I'll definitely give him the first minute. He brings chaos that first minute of the first round.
He's definitely entertaining as shit. He's definitely very fun to watch.
Yeah.
Man, there were 2 hits that he went into though. I was just like, oh shit! After he was bleeding and stuff. No.
Yeah, the big thing about him. No, you go ahead.
I was saying, yeah, you can't fake taking a hit though. I know that.
The big thing I like a lot about him though is his attitude, right? Like, even though, I mean, he's in there, he gets rocked, and then he goes, "Hey, like, that was a great shot, man. Where the fight's over, and like super respectful, and you know what I mean." And that to me means a lot, right? It's good to see somebody, even if he takes a hard loss, it's like the dude's not like he's not losing sleep over it,
Yeah.
Well, speaking of crazy fights, crazy fighters, and all sorts of stuff, there's this fun fight question we'd like to ask where if you had to be like a character and you had a secret move, the signature move, your special move that you had to do, what would be your signature move? And there's two answers to this. One is a real life answer that what would be your signature if you could pull off, that's what you would do. And two, what would be the imaginary one where you shoot some fucking something out of your hand and you're bam, pull their skull out of their body.
Thought about this a crazy amount of times. If I had a special superpower to use in a fight, I would slow down time because if I could get him just to stand there, then I could just do whatever.
Okay.
So, all right, for me, for like imaginary power, I mean, you guys Mortal Kombat fans?
Yeah.
I want Goro's strength in his forearms to just grab a dude and just pull him apart. Like, not even a fight. You just walk up, grab him, brah, and they just pull apart and everything. That would be my superpower for sure.
Like a Lego man, just damn, bro. You killing people, bro.
I was just gonna have to make him like a real life Bob bag. This motherfucker wants to tear his.
Jesus, we can't even identify this guy. It's too many pieces. All right, so what about like a real life technique? What would be your go-to signature?
Like a real life move, like a fight move.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good question. I really like the way them tornado kicks look. If I could perfect that, that'd be really cool. Those are really pretty. When you get the technique down perfectly and then get the landing down, get it all down, it's a beautiful thing to throw.
Shout out Fair Play.
Oh yeah. He's got a good one. He's got a good one.
Yeah.
So for me, I would have to go with slams. In particular, I mean, like the suplex, I love them. I grew up watching WWE, so like suplex, man, that's the main business. But like if somebody got me, if we managed to get in close guard, like I'm standing up and I'm gonna slam you. Like that's my goal. That 100%.
Nice. German suplex, belly to belly. What we doing?
Yeah.
So here's the problem with that is I don't really know what is the specific names for which one, right? My goal is to just get it to the ground, and then hey, we'll just roll from there and see what happens, right?
Yeah,
I'm not flexible enough to do that like straight back where like I bridge and my head touches the ground before I come over. I can't do that, but definitely not.
Look, man, so there's one time, crazy enough, it was from a slam. I felt terrible after a fight where it was in high school. Me and this dude got into it. We're talking shit, going back and forth. Finally, we just see each other at lunch, and he's real tall, and he slumped me a couple times. And I remember he wound up to throw a haymaker, and I dipped under it. And I remember with having a wrestling background, I just double legged him and picked him up. But this fucker was like 6 something, and I didn't think about it. He's real skinny. So I went, wham! I slammed him as hard as I could. I didn't think about the whiplash. Come to find out, I ended up like cracking the back of his skull and shit. He told me, and I was like, dude, I'm down to fight. I wasn't trying to fucking kill you or nothing. He's like, no, I get it. And I was just like, and after that, we were cool as shit. Never had a problem the rest of the fucking year. We were like damn near like best friends.
Well, of course you guys were cool, man. He didn't want that smoke.
Right?
Right? He's like, oh, I need him on my side.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good though. I smile. Look. No, but that I am curious because I was gonna say, do both of you feel that everybody in their life should at least be in one fight, even if it's with gloves on, to learn that they're not made of glass or anything else? Or
I think so. I think everyone should know what they're capable of, or what they're not capable of. Because I don't know if you ever heard it, but I've seen on the internet there's like a study. I don't know if it's official or not, that men are like 4,000 less effective in fights than they think they are, and I think that's very true. And when people would actually like put on the gloves and go see that, then they'd be like, "Oh fuck, this is harder than it looks." Because all those people watch is fucking Canelo, and Canelo makes it look easy as shit. They don't know what work it took to get to like that. You know what I mean? They don't know that.
I would completely agree with you. And I think, honestly, in terms of like a hierarchy of importance, we can all identify certain people that probably should experience it more than others. Maybe you interact with people, maybe you know exactly, you have friends that are like this, but some people it's like, man, you just need to get hit, and then you realize like, oh wow, okay, yeah, it's not what I thought it was. You know what I mean? Because everybody, like, what was it that great quote of Mike Tyson, right? Everybody's got a plan till they get punched in the face. You know what I mean?
I have a poster of that in my room. Mike Tyson.
Oh, it's true, man. A lot of people act the way they do because they've never taken a punch to the face.
Yeah, they don't know what a real fight is really like.
Right.
What I like, yeah, I don't know what it's like.
You can always tell too. You're like.
So I wanted to ask you guys, we're moving into 2025. This is actually our last episode of the year. What do you guys foresee in the upcoming year?
You mean like for myself?
Yeah, far as fighting,
Shit, I'm gonna need a minute to think about this one.
I mean, I can go first. Then I got mine ready to go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm a little different in the way I like to do goals. I like to call myself a man of minimums. I assign minimums to myself. So like for me for 2025, I'm gonna fight a minimum of 3 times at the Scrapyard. And I'm gonna do a minimum of 1 sanctioned amateur MMA bout. And again, when I say minimum, I mean that's like bare minimum. That would be like, oh hey, I get seriously injured at each one, so therefore I need to take like 2 months off in between each one. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm definitely planning to get after it pretty hard in 2025, and then hey, we'll reevaluate and see how 2026 is going to shape up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I try to fight I try to fight as often as I possibly can, which is probably isn't the best for your health, but I think it's good for my experience and for climbing the ladder in the fight game. Because I've been training for since I was 17, 16 years old, and I've been fighting StreetBeefs for a while, and I think it's about time that I finally take that step into the amateurs. So I'm thinking maybe this might be the year that I finally stop the bullshit, stay in the gym consistently, and finally get in the Emmys. I'm also starting going to college, starting school in January too. I'm studying sports broadcasting. So I'm also going to be that's going to be taking time away from training. I also got the kids. I'm also going to be working my fucking job, and then I'm gonna have a full ass place. So I don't know. We're gonna see what happens. But those are my goals for sure.
That's awesome, man.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, see, this is, even though I'm having a blast, and like Samke said, this is the last show of the 2024 year. I know that we can't stay all night, unfortunately, and I always have to end up being the bad guy towards around this time where we kind of got to slow things down and wrap it up. But I like to make sure that we get, final questions out the way. We got to make sure Samke doesn't have anything final too, or me, or anything. And it's so much fun. I don't want to fucking end this shit.
Yeah, man. If you guys want to give out any socials, any plugs, now would be the time.
You want to go first, Island?
Oh, you got it.
Oh, all right. So yeah, check me out on Instagram. My page is relatively new. What even is my page? I think it's like B_Skimmerhorn92, something similar like that. See, look, I don't even know my own handle. But no, it really, I just want to say thanks, to everybody who supported me. That includes like my family, my friends, the guys at the gym, Logic Jiu-Jitsu. If any of you guys are following, I mean, you guys made me. And honestly, I appreciate everything all the staff does at the Scrapyard. Because honestly, the organization's great. It's got the way they do everything. It's work. It's a safe environment. And as me coming to it for the first time this year and doing it once, it's not what I thought it was in a good way, right? Like I went there and had a way better experience than I could have imagined, right? So hats off to everybody there who takes their own time to make it, a reality for fighters so they can get out there and get after it.
Oh yeah. Make sure y'all follow me on Instagram. My name is IslandStrong209. Make sure y'all stay following StreetBeefs West Coast. Stay subscribed. Make sure you're checking out the latest drops. Shout out Samke, Buddy V. Appreciate you guys for having me on. Jason J. Shout out Free Smoke for keeping the cage in order. I heard we're getting mats finally in our cage instead of that sand. Instead of fighting in a litter box, that's gonna be cool. Shout out Free Smoke. Shout out everybody keeping this organization and everything together. Y'all some real ones.
Before we have to let you guys go, we have to get one piece of advice for any new fighter wanting to get into this cage. We're ending the year. We've learned a lot. We've had our ups. We've had our downs. What's one thing you want to tell people that they should know before stepping into this cage, before we can end it on a positive note?
Train, train, train. Keep training. That's all you. That's what you gotta do. Just keep getting better. It's all you can do. Is keep getting better. Just keep getting better. Cardio, bag work, anything you can do. Just keep getting better.
I would say just do it. Now's the time. Like there's always going to be a way you can find an excuse. You say, oh well, not now. I'm gonna get X% better and then do this, and then that time comes, you make some other excuse. Just get out and do it. Like especially with StreetBeefs, man. Just sign up. Just follow the directions. Sign up. Like quit talking and go do it.
Facts. Just do it, man. Just do it. Don't think about it twice. Don't think twice. Just do it. Just fucking do it.
Just do it.
Hey, well, we appreciate you guys, man. It's been a great conversation, and you guys have a great night.
No, thank you guys for having us. Really appreciate it. Good talking to you guys.
Yes, sir.
All right, take care, guys.
That was a blast. Thank you both so much.
Hey.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Man.
Great way to end the year, man.
And we're still not done yet, right? Right?
Nah, not yet. Not yet.
Zuel, lifestyle wear for the fighter in you. A movement to show that by utilizing hard work, grit, and determination, you could achieve any dream as long as you were willing to put in the hard work. Buddy V creates his own unique artwork and designs all of his clothing, jewelry, and accessories, taking the time to create every item so you can feel the pride in every piece. As a living embodiment of Zuel's principles, Buddy V fights MMA while staying active in the community, promoting positivity. Whether you are a stay-at-home parent, entrepreneur, or anything else, there is a place for you at Zuel.
Buddy V's Fighters to Watch.
We always start with the Scrapyard. Well, tonight is our very own guest, The Horn. As you can guess, we have different fighters to watch every time. And with one fight in the yard is a fresh up-and-comer and someone who made a wave. You have to go check out his fight. We saw the interview. We're wrapping up 2024. He came out and he's got big plans for 2025, which means you have to keep your eyes on him. So he's definitely going to be a fighter to watch. And I don't even just speak on his match. We talked about it earlier. So go watch it. Go enjoy it. In the words of Samke, it's fire.
Go see the mustache ride.
Hey. Now, from StreetBeefs West Coast, we have Dr. Bruce. Now, he was a newcomer of the yard, and what really got me was his level of determination and the fact that he kept going forward no matter what. Even when he was getting hit, he kept moving forward. The reason why this impressed me even more so is before his fight, he says, hey, this is coming off a bag where, I just want to see because bags don't hit back, which means he hasn't really got a whole lot of sparring and this and that. And if he came out and did what he did the way he did with that level, what's going to happen if all of a sudden he's getting trained with guys and starts going, taking jumps and leaps and the level of skill he has? He could come out and do some serious damage. So, yes, I need to see some more Dr. Bruce. That was a fun fight. Now, from the OG yard, El Mez, another fun fighter, because I was watching it and his fight, oh man, he did so much damage. Even though his opponent wanted to continue, the ref and the doctor wouldn't even let it because there was so much blood leaking. And if this man was ready, and he even before his intro said, I'm just here to fight, someone's got that dog in him. So yeah, give me some more El Mez, because it's going to be a banger when he comes back out. Those are my 3 fighters to watch.
Nice, man. I'm gonna have to check out El Mez. I haven't seen him. The other guys I'm familiar with. But shit, man. Fire picks as always.
Fire.
Fire. Yeah, Soundcam the Fire 5. We're going to start things off at the OG yard as always. You see it, Amag versus Big Body. This was a boxing match. This was a great fight right here. The fight started off very high-paced, high energy, and a lot of pressure. But as we say every single episode, guys, every single episode, what do we say? Cardio is key. Cardio is key. Cardio is key. We had the classic bout between a boxer versus a brawler. We saw a lot of heart and determination on display. We saw the reach and patience really showcased in this fight as well. Check it out. It's a firefight. Street Beefs OGR to Mog versus Big Body. Moving on, we're going to go ahead and move over to the Scrapyard. Street Beef Scrapyard, you see it. Old School versus JDB boxing match. And as you could tell right here from the thumbnail, somebody gets slumped. This was a great match right here. We got a nice exchange between these guys. Both men bringing volume punching every round. Very, very much a war between these two. And then we got a fire finish at the end. Street Beef Scrapyard, Old School versus JDB, firefight. Yeah, you see it. That's the hot box. So we got to be at Street Beefs West Coast. Tom G versus the Wizard. We got another boxing match right here. Two newcomers, and this was a very competitive matchup. Both of these guys were tested. Both of these guys making nice adjustments and adapting throughout the fight. We got two different styles. Once again, it made for an entertaining bout. A lot of counters in this fight. A lot of counters in this fight. Check this out. It's another fire fight. Tom G versus the Wizard, Street Beefs West Coast. Yeah, we got a classic right here. Street Beefs OG Yard. You see it. Keanu versus Ryu Senin. Keanu, this was the OG Yard's ref. This was actually before he started refereeing. And then we got the double champ, the multi-decorated champion Ryu Senin in his first kickboxing match for the OG Yard. This was a great match right here. A lot of respect shown between these two, but it's kickboxing. So we got the bone-breaking kicks. We got some beautiful shot placement throughout the fight, educated counters, and a solid finish. Street Beefs OG Yard, Keanu versus Ryu Senin, firefight. And we're going to end things off tonight at the Scrapyard. You see it. This is an MMA bout, Dorian versus Maxim. You see the time right there. It didn't last too long. We got some sharp strikes to begin with. It leads to the ground where we see a beautiful reversal, and we got a quick and relentless submission. Beautiful fight right here. Dorian versus Maxim, Street Beef Scrapyard, Samcan the Fire 5.
Ooh, straight fire as always.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Episode 100, man. It's crazy, bro. We were talking before the show that this is basically my second year doing this, and very much appreciative. And yeah, man, we done came a ways. We done came a ways.
Hell yeah, we made a lot of waves, and the waves we're about to make in this upcoming year. I feel like we're on trajectory. Trajectory where we had the ball here. 2024, we had the ball rolling, and I think 2025, we were about to hit the steep and just whoom. It's about to be crazy.
Facts, man. And that's thanks to what we got going, man. Jay always killing it in the background. You always helping me kill it, in the forefront. And we just make for a good team, and we make for good content, great conversations, man.
Absolutely. And you see the growth here. They love, the dynamic that you bring. I'm so grateful to have you as the second year of co-host of MMA Underground. We work as a dynamic and a duo that cannot be replicated. I'll just say that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But even though we're having fun, man, do we have to wrap up the final episode of the year?
Eventually that time comes, man. Shout out to our guest tonight, man. The Horn, we appreciate you. Island Strong, we appreciate you. It's great having y'all. You guys go out, check out their fights. Street Beefs Scrapyard, Street Beefs West Coast. They put on some good fights. Everyone watching, appreciate you. Everyone alive, Everyone on replay, appreciate you. OG Yard, Scrapyard, West Coast, Dirty South, appreciate you. Buddy V, appreciate you. Jay, appreciate you. Overtime Hustling Magazine, shout out to you guys as always. Heart in the Fight, shout out to you guys as always. We appreciate you. And yeah, man, if you guys haven't liked, subscribe, what are you doing? It's the end of the show. Go like and subscribe. And that's it for me, man. I don't do the social medias. If you're trying to catch for me, same time, same place next year.
Hell yeah. Now, if y'all haven't seen, Zool by now, and I thought I'd make y'all laugh a little bit with the OTA shout out. They got the order with Papoose on there. I have that issue right there because I know he's been in the media recently. Yeah. But shout out to everybody watching. I have a blast. Zwell World, you know where to go get the merch. As you saw, cardio is key. We have some of the limited edition gold ones still. And even with Jay's, one world, one love. Yeah. We have too much fun. And this year's going to end. And I was going back and forth, and I couldn't debate the price. And I officially did it for the final show. $110 flat for the whole package of everything. That will include all the shirts that have MMA Underground. The cardio was key. One love, one world shirt, and the track suit, all that, a whole track suit, zip up, suit, pants, the whole 9 yards, all that. Yeah, for $110. So that's Christmas deal only for y'all.
The tracksuit alone is worth the $110. So to get everything else with that, man, that's a deal. That's a holiday steal.
Right? Shoo. So Merry Christmas, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in with us all year. I've had a blast, and I can't believe it, but I guess this is my final thanks. So yeah, you MK, you Jay. I could not think of a single thing I'd do on a Tuesday other than spend it with y'all. So thank you. And we're gonna end it in the famous words as we always do for one last time. One world, one love, deuces.
Hey!